morning, everyone. This is Amit Pabari, founder and managing director of CR Forex. In today's presentation, we are going to discuss two things. What is the outlook for dollar rupee pair for the coming week and trading ideas for the week. Let me start with the first part of the presentation, that what is the outlook for dollar rupee pair. Before we start that, let me tell you the theme that dollar index will move higher, EM currencies will weaken and dollar rupee pair will weaken. This theme continues. Let us analyze why this theme will continue for next week also. The first reason for a higher dollar index is US inflation data, which came last week, was at 40-year high at 7.9%. On 16th of March, Fed का meeting है. In the Fed meeting, they are definitely going to increase interest rate by 25 basis points. That is already discounted in the market. The most important thing is, after the interest rate hike, what kind of commentary they are giving. If they are sounding too hawkish, and there are higher probability that they will be sounding too hawkish because 7.9 inflation rate in USA is a huge inflation. Any indication of further increasing interest rate by 50 basis point or 100 basis point, that will make dollar index much higher. If 99.73 is broken out, then 103 का target लेके रख सकते हैं. That is first reason. The second reason is falling Chinese equity market and weakening of Chinese currency. If you see the chart, Chinese equity market recently had made a low, which they had made a low in March 2020, and Chinese currency, which was appreciating from last 6 months, in the month of September they made a high of 6.51. After that it was falling. Recently it made a low of 6.30. Now from last 2 to 3 trading days, it has again bounced back towards 6.35 level. If 6.35 level is taken out, then Chinese currency will weaken very fastly, and if Chinese currency weaken, it will have a negative impact on all Asian currencies, including USDINR pair. The third reason is rising geopolitical tension between Russia and Ukraine, that is continuously there. Apart from there, एक नया geopolitical tension arise हुआ है. Iran has launched 12 missiles in Iraq US consulate. इसके वजह से जो एक मार्केट पे न्यूज़ था that US will remove sanction on Iran and Venezuela, that might stop, and it will continuously keep pressure on oil prices, because of which all EM currencies will weaken. So as discussed, all the factors are indicating that USD INR pair should weaken from the current level. But in last entire week, we have seen that RBI was defending 76.95. There is a 90 to 95% probability that in coming week, RBI will not be able to stop the currency at 76.95 level, and the pair will move towards 77.5 to 78 levels in next 6 to 8 trading days. Now let us discuss strategy for thin margin exporters. Thin margin exporters like agri exporter or chemical exporters, they must have taken costing close to 76 level. They can cover 60 to 70% of their exposure between 76.60 to 76.90 level. For the remaining position, they can target 77.30 and 77.5 level. The position which they are keeping open, they can keep a stop loss of 76 or costing, whichever is higher. Now let us discuss strategy for thick margin exporters like textile exporters or engineering exporters. As the overall view on the currency remains that the currency will move towards 78 to 78.5 level. So thick margin exporter should not rush to cover their exports. They can wait for a while to cover at higher levels. Overall, we suggest them not to increase their hedge ratio beyond 45%. Now let us discuss strategy for importers. As we have been discussing in all our previous videos, that the best strategy for importer is to buy on dips. So if anyone who has missed the opportunity to buy their imports for the next 45 to 50 days, they can target to buy at 7630 to 7650 levels. But because of any reason, if those levels are not coming, they can keep a final stop loss of 77 and 10 level. If 77.10 level is broken out, then the pair will directly move towards 78 and a half level. So if that breaks, please go and buy your imports. Now let us discuss trading ideas for coming week. Last week we have given two call, एक यूरो USD सेल था and USD INR बाई था. USD INR का target has been achieved. Euro USD we are still holding for a target of 1.08. With this I will end my today's presentation. जय हिंद, नमस्कार, फिर मिलेंगे next week. Thank you.